John.
And this is Ronnie and special guest star Joe.
See him, Joe. And Zoe, she's down there on the floor. The only animal we're missing is Schultz, but you know he gets. Oh, here she comes. Yeah, Schultz gets a little crazy, so we can't have him in here. He starts Scooby-Dooing all over the place. So you're probably going to see Zoe walking all around in this video because there she is, right there. Okay, so he may need to go because he's screaming in my ear. I knew he was going to do that. So
he doesn't like the cat.
Well, you know, it can't be helped. Zoe is Zoe, right?
The cat's taking his limelight there.
Yeah. All right, so enough about the fur babies. So this video is going to be what are we going to call this? We're going to call this
This is our wait a minute, which video are you doing now?
This is how we handle things as an interracial couple.
Oh, okay.
Part 2.
But we were doing the animal room.
We decided to do a part 2 because we had got a lot of questions and that people had asked us, and then just, you know, life in general. So we thought that, you know, you would like to hear some more good things about how we handle things as a couple. So a couple of questions, we threw them out there, and they got thrown back at us. So one of the questions was, do people stare at you when you're out and about?
Oh, you want me to take that one?
Yeah, I want you to take that one.
I don't notice. I'm sure they do. I don't notice as much now as I did when me and Ronnie first met. When me and Ronnie first met, I noticed it all the time. And it didn't make a difference of what section we were in, where we at as far as in the city, if we were out of the city, if we were just on a weekend trip, someplace out of state. I noticed it a lot. Now, to be honest with you, I'm probably just so, you know, not aware of it anymore because it's happened so much. It just doesn't even faze me anymore.
How did it make you feel though when you thought people were staring at us? Did you care?
Oh, no, I didn't care.
Okay.
That made no difference at all.
Yeah.
If it did, I wouldn't be with you.
Whatever. So, yeah, but you don't let other people make those decisions for you. I mean,
look, I grew up with my sister. And by the way, I want to put out a special shout out to her. She just got married, and why we don't basically agree with everything. We don't really like one another that much. I like to say congratulations on your marriage and good health and wealth and everything else. And I want to send a special shout out to my mom, who sent us one of my sister's baby's pictures, which Ronnie will be posting up in the corner of this video.
Oh, well, it'll be up there. You guys can see what's going on. So
I'm sorry about so rudely interrupting you. Please continue.
No, so I mean, I didn't know whether, like, when we were out, if John had noticed. Like, I think he noticed it, but me, you know, I don't always want. Well, yeah, it is about race sometimes. But me, as far as going out and going in and out of stores and shopping or whatever, I'm used to people following me around. I'm used to people looking at me anyway. So I just don't care. So I think, like, John was more aware of it, and I noticed him noticing it while I'm, like, on the, you know, down low, like, yeah, I know they're looking, but I don't care type thing. But, I mean, you know, I'm thinking maybe you're looking because you like the way my makeup is. Maybe you're looking because you like my hair. Yeah. Maybe you're looking because you like my outfit. I'm not always going to say, oh, you're looking at me because I'm with a white man. Because that's your problem, not mine. And I don't have time to unpack that and deal with that. That's your, you know, hang up, not ours. So I don't think, to answer that question, we really don't care whether people are staring at us, or we don't care whether people are looking at us or not when we're out. So another question was, do you only, or I guess at that time, did we only date white men, I guess speaking to me, and you, black women? Mm-hmm. Did you only, you know, because some people have a preference and that's what they do. For me, no. I was and I think I might have answered this before or spoke about this before. Me, I was an equal opportunity dater. Whoever liked me, I liked them. Again, I dated white men, I dated black men, I dated Asian men. I don't think, I may have dated an Indian. Yeah, I was all over the place. I didn't care. Like, if the vibe was right and I was meshing with that person, and it was a good fit for that time in my life, yeah, I dated whoever I wanted to. I don't care.
Ditto. You took my thing because I was going to say equal opportunity dater.
I've always said
You can always
that. I was an
tell. You can always tell
dater.
people that have been around one another for a long time, because I find, like, I'll be sitting there watching TV and I'll say something. Ronnie's like, "Oh, I was just thinking that. I was just going to say that."
Or we complete each other's sentences, something like that. I'll say something, and he'll just pick up on it. I'm like, wow. And sometimes we do that. We're like, wow, I was just thinking that. Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
So we spend most of our time running around behind one another saying, "I owe you a Coke," for you people that are older than dirt that remember that
Yeah,
saying.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
I never said that. I think it was like you punch somebody or something, like,
No, you don't punch nobody.
Uh-huh,
That was for birthdays.
No, I think like if you... Well, maybe it was just in my family.
Yeah, you
like
just like to punch one another.
If you completed each other's sentences, or you said the same thing, you was like punch or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. You guys let me... Joe, you guys let me know in the comments. Did y'all do that? Was it like a punch thing, or did you say buy me a Coke? Because I never understood.
We always said buy you a Coke.
I think that was a cultural thing. I really do. So, another question was...
Oh, so you want me to answer that question?
Yeah, I did.
I really never... I just said a ditto.
Well, I'd like to know how you felt about that. Yes.
Yeah, I was... To take Ronnie's words, I was an equal opportunity dater. I dated white women, dated a few black women before I met Ronnie. So, like I said, I was kind of equal opportunity. Now, if you ask me what I was more attracted to, I'm going to tell you, definitely more attracted to black women.
And why is that?
I don't know.
He doesn't know.
It's basically, it's just something about them. It's totally different than, there's physical differences.
Is that it?
The physical differences are there, but there's just some kind of chemistry that I've had in two relationships. One is with Ronnie, and then one was when I was a lot younger. I just had a different chemistry, where we had... Now, you may say that if you want to be like the opposite side, if you want to argue the issue, it'd be, well, you probably just met a really good person, which is true. But my experience with dating a lot of white women, it just never worked out, and always seemed like the chemistry wasn't there. And the two women in my life that I really had real good chemistry with, that really worked out well. They were both black women or women of color.
There you go. Because he's not sure. He thinks that she may have been like Italian, black, and something else. She was definitely multiracial,
multicultural. Easy for you to say.
Yeah, very easy for me to say. I don't know.
Joe's laughing.
Joe, I swear this bird. Yo, I'm gonna just stop our little comment for a minute so I can just comment on this bird. This bird here, he is... What is he? He's a Senegalese parrot.
He's a Senegal parrot.
Okay, Senegal parrot. This thing has lived before. I'm telling you, there is somebody in this bird. You hear him back there laughing? It's not like he like parrots and they say they mimic what they hear. No, he does that too. But there's also some times where I'll say something and no lie, this bird answers me. And I got to step back and be like, who are you? And what is inside you? I say that to John all the time. There's a person inside Joe.
Yeah.
Right, Joe?
And the funny story about it, if we've never told you, which I don't think we did, how we actually wound up with Joe. Joe was actually going to be a gift for my dad, which he was. And unfortunately, my dad had hurt himself, and nobody could take care of him, so we got Joe back. My dad recovered basically from his injuries, but mentally he just was never the same, so he couldn't take care of him. My mom and my sister didn't want to take care of him, so we basically got Joe back. And to be honest with you, all the birds that I've had, he is the greatest bird, as far. And it's like what Ronnie said, it's almost like somebody took a person's body and stuck it inside this little bird. I mean, see, he knows.
He's answering. I mean, he really does. He knows his name, so he says his name. But that's the repetition thing where they're just parroting what they hear. But there are other times, like John will come down. Like he didn't know. We say good boy to Schultz all the time. So you go over to him and you'll say, hey, Joe, and he'll say good boy. It's like, what? When did you learn that?
Yeah, he's constantly
So
picking up
he's
things.
constantly picking up new words and phrases and things. And like I said, he's been here before.
And I'll ask him too. I'll ask him, "You want to do a video with me and Ronnie?" He'll be like, "Bullshit."
Oh yeah,
He loves
okay.
bullshit.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's got a bit of a potty mouth, and I wonder where he got that from.
He never got that from
But
me.
no, he didn't. He was saying that when we got him. So I don't know. He curses a bit. So he's got a little bit of a potty mouth. Hopefully, he won't say that on here. So
okay. So back to the topics.
Continue. We're off Joe. So yeah, so one of the questions, this is a really good question. If you knew you were going to have issues, wouldn't it have been easier to just date someone of your own race? Well, I think John's a human, so at times. So yeah, I'm dating a human, but I get what you mean. Wouldn't it have been easier for me to just date somebody who's black, or for him to just date somebody who's white? Again, that falls under the thing that I dated people of all colors. So to me, it didn't matter. To me, it was more important to have a rapport and to get along with that person and have things that we had in common, for that person to make me happy. Hopefully I made them happy. So it was all about having a relationship first. And I'm not even looking at the color of your skin. So no, for me, it wouldn't have been, I wouldn't have taken the easy way out and said, well, I'm only going to date black men because I don't want to have all the flack of dating a white man or somebody else, for people to always be in my business and telling me how wrong it is. Me, I don't care. If anybody knows me, I always go against the grain. I'm a militant, so yeah, I don't care. I'm just going to do what I want to do. So
yeah, I would basically say the same thing. I think, and especially when I was younger, I basically went with the easy road, and then I found that the easy road became the hard road, because you settled for somebody who was accepted with your family members and stuff like that. But in the end, what's easy, what you think may be easy turns out to be hard, because basically you're with somebody who you just don't get along with, you don't have the chemistry with. So like I said, I would say the same thing as Ronnie. And especially since I got older, I'm not going to settle for something that other people think that are acceptable. I'm going to settle for something that makes me happy.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the end game. It's just somebody to make you happy. Why are you going to listen to your parents or your family tell you who you should and shouldn't be with just because it makes them happy? No, at the end of the day, you're not there to make them happy. You're there to make yourself happy. And if you always do what someone else tells you, you're going to get to a point in your life where you're going to come off hating what you did, and I wasted all my time, or all, part of my life trying to make somebody else happy when I should have been making myself happy. So at the end game of that is just to make sure that you're in it to make yourself happy and the person that you choose to be with.
I thought you were going to say in it to win it. That would have sounded good. You're in it to win it. Yeah. Okay, hey, next topic.
So this is a funny one. Do you like to say music?
Okay, let me start with that, because I'm going to say for the most part we do.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, because I like a wide variety of music, and I like everything from country to like 70s to actually rap. And then when I say rap, a lot of people look at me and be like, you look totally off the wall, where you'd be the last person that would say that they would like rap. But I know what you're thinking too. When I say country, they're like, yeah, well, I'm trying to figure that. But no, 70s, I like a lot of 60s songs. 50s, maybe one or two. I'm not really too much of a 50s person, but 60s, 70s, 80s, I don't know. 80s, there may be one or two.
He doesn't like the 80s either.
80s really never. And 90s, I don't feel really anything.
Yeah.
I mean, now if you're putting rap in there, there's rap, special artists and stuff like that I like.
90s rap.
Yeah, but like I said, I would say 50s, 80s, and 90s is basically out the door.
That's see, I knew that.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to talk about decades, I love the 50s. Oh my God,
Well,
one
the
of our
'50s was more doo wop, wasn't it?
doo wop.
Yeah.
I love doo wop. For some reason, I just don't know. I feel that I really love 50s doo wop type music. And there used to be a radio station that would play what they call the oldies, and that was back then. It was 50s, so they would play. They would have doo wop Sunday, and I would turn it on, and I would enjoy myself for hours just listening to 50s doo wop. So if we're talking about decades, I love the 50s, the doo wop. I love the 60s. Um, the whole the whole English British invasion. I was totally on with that. And the 70s, I liked it. This is gonna make me sound like a grandma, but I love the easy listening of the 70s. It's just like the type of music you can put on, like America, if anybody is familiar with that group, and you just get in your car and you're driving down the road, and that music just does something. It just makes you serene and happy. That's what 70s
So
music does to
you
me.
like that song, "A Horse with No Name"?
I love that. I love that song. That's one of my favorite America songs. But there's a
What
whole
was
bunch
that
of
other one?
groups.
"American Woman, won't you come and see? American Woman,
This is what
won't
I
you
told
bend the
him not to do,
knee?"
because I
If Joe's singing
John
too.
could not, and he's laughing at you. John cannot carry a tune if it had a handle on it, and I love him to death, but baby,
Well, I had to put that out there because you said American songs. So I was
yeah.
like,
Well, I was talking about stuff in the 70s,
yeah, okay.
but yeah. So, and I love the 80s because I basically kind of grew up there, and I love the 90s. I love the 90s hip hop. Today's hip hop, I couldn't even tell you. I can't even get into it. 90s hip hop, early 2000s hip hop, and that's pretty much it. Now, my all time favorite, and anybody that knows me, I gets down with some reggae.
Oh yeah, she does like
Reggae,
reggae.
I feel in my soul. I am convinced that I was born in Jamaica in another life, or born in the West Indies in another life, and that is my true calling. It's just something about reggae that when I hear it, I have to move. When I say I feel it in my bones, I really mean I feel it in my bones. He knows
Right.
anything reggae, everything reggae. I don't care who the artist is. Bob Marley, top of the heap, but everybody that else falls under him, Toots and the Maytals, you know,
Twips.
uh,
That's a candy bar. Ain't
oh,
it? Twix.
Toots
Oh, I think
and the
it's a Twix.
Maytals, Dennis Brown. I can name a whole bunch. Reggae is my thing. So, yeah. So, do we like the same type of music? In essence, I can't get down with country.
There are a couple country songs. I introduced Ronnie
Here's
to
what I
country
say about
rap.
country. Oh, Lord. Yeah, he does. There's some people on YouTube that have some country rap. But here's my thing about country. If it's twangy, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Stay
Like
away
Conway
from
Twitty.
the
Conway Twitty.
I don't even
like
know
that.
the twang. No, but
Some of the newer stuff isn't like that though.
no. But I mean, as far as music goes, I like everything. Alternative, hip hop, rap, reggae. I'm naming genres now. Rock, hard rock, heavy metal, jazz, just everything, the whole gamut. Like if I was to put my musical taste out there, you would say this woman's schizophrenic when it comes to her musical taste. But that's just me. I just love music. I think music opens up the soul, and it just, when you're upset, it calms you. Sometimes you listen to it and you get upset. It's just music to me is very emotional and
Now,
very soothing.
that brings up an interesting question because where you grew up, would you say that was basically a black neighborhood? Like the majority of the people were black in that neighborhood?
Yeah, when my neighborhood, there was one white family, and they lived around the corner from me. It was like two brothers, and we hung out and played with them and stuff like that. But no, other than that,
So in that community, how were you accepted listening to all these different varieties of music?
this isn't something. When you're a kid, you want to get along, and you want everybody to like you. And I pretty much, for the most of my life, just step to the beat of my own drum. But when you're a kid, you want other people to like you. So I don't know if I really put out there at that time what type of music I was into, what type of artist I like, and things like that, because kids can be cruel, and I got teased enough. So I wasn't trying to say, oh yeah, I love Jimi Hendrix, or I'm thinking just a rock band or whatever. I like the Rolling Stones. I love the Beatles. a lot of people that I know that didn't know a lot of bands that I was into and that I like. So I wasn't gonna make my life any worse by saying, yeah, I really, really love these rock
Kiss.
bands.
She liked Kiss.
Kiss was okay. John always jumps on the Kiss bandwagon. They're okay. I really wasn't that into them. But then one song that I just know the I want to rock all night, whatever. But those weren't the bands that I was really down with as far as rock goes. I mean, I was into Metallica, and I mean, this is like when I got like a teenage years. But earlier, I just felt like as a kid, I couldn't tell people the people in my neighborhood, the kids I hung around with, that because I felt as though they were already judging me and they would think I'm some kind of crazy lunatic and I was going to get teased worse than I already did. And so I thought, well, no, I just keep that to myself. Now, when I got in college, that was a new Ronnie. I was like out there and I didn't care, and I did what I wanted to do. I dressed how I wanted to do. I listened to what I wanted to do. I said what I wanted to do. I didn't really care what anybody else thought. And that's when I really came into my own. And I think then, it's like, okay, this is just me. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Goodbye. But I'm thinking, like, even when I was a little kid, like in the early 70s, I was listening to reggae and I didn't even know it was reggae. I just gravitated to it, and then somebody said, "Hey, this is reggae that you like," and I'm like, "Well, okay then, that's my
Now, the,
music."
the reason I've asked that question is because, and I think I've told Ronnie this before, but when I first moved around here, the neighbor down the street, me and him were talking, and we're still friendly to this day. And we were talking, and I said to him, now he's a black guy, and I said to him, I said, "Oh yeah," I said, Ronnie listened to a lot of different music. I said, "She, believe it or not," I said, "she even liked Kiss." And he turned around with me and looked at me with the straightest face and said, "Excuse me," he says, "is your wife black?" And I just thought it was so funny because for the same reason when people look at me when I say I love Biggie Smalls.
He does.
Tupac was okay, but Biggie Smalls is basically my favorite.
He loves
And when I
Biggie.
say that to people, people will look at me and they'll be like, "You're not supposed to listen to that," or "Why are you listening to that?"
He likes Public Enemy too. No,
I like
some of them.
some of it.
Yeah, I think some of it's a little bit too radical for him. But hey, I'm down with
Yeah,
PE.
right.
Yeah. But no, but that's a good point, because that's the kind of reaction you get. As a black person, if I said I love Metallica, people look at me like, "Are you crazy? Oh, you're trying to be white. Oh, you think you're white. Oh, because you." I don't think I'm white. I'll never be white. Why can't I listen to the type of music that I want to? So that's one of the things that I think that kids today growing up have it differently than we did. They can listen or do, they can dress how they want to, date who they want to, listen to what they want to, like what they want to, no matter what color they are, even though there's still problems out there. But I think that the kids today, or the people that are growing up today, teenagers or in their 20s or whatever, they have it a lot easier than we did, because I mean, there still may get some flack here and there, but I think it's more acceptable for you to just be like, "Hey, yeah, I'm a white guy and I'm into Biggie Smalls. I'm a white guy, and I'm a black woman and I love Metallica." There may be some people out there who don't even know who Metallica is. Well, sorry, listen to their music, because when they first started out, a lot of their music to me, because I come from like a jazz background and stuff, a lot of their music sounded really jazzy to me. Some of it, and other people's like, "Well, that's just noise." Like my mom, when I started listening to Metallica, she's like, "Turn that noise off." I was like, "But mom, but mom," but no, she didn't get it. But my mom knew that I was quirky like that, and I liked a whole bunch of different things. She never came to me and said, "Don't you buy that music? Don't listen to it." She thought Metallica actually gave her a headache because they were so fast with their music, and it was just these beats. But if you, like, I studied music in school and stuff, so to me that's where I was approaching it, like, wow, these guys, they're on another level. But yeah, I wouldn't have said it when I was younger, but when I got teenager and in college, I'm like, you know what, you don't like me because I like the type of, you don't like me if you don't like the type of music that I listen to. Goodbye, I don't have time for you. And I think I might have gave this example when I was in college. It was this, we talked about this. It was this one girl. She wasn't a roommate, but she and I had the same advisor, and she came in one day and she started talking about all this music that she liked, and for lack of a better word, it was white music. So in other words, she was talking about all these white bands that she really liked. And I was there with my roommate, Penny, and we're still friends to this day. She says to me, she said, I said, like, you like the Stones, or you like the Beatles, you like, and she was telling me all these groups that she liked that I like too. And like contemporary groups, I can't think of something off the top of my head now, but I'm just going to use Metallica again as an example. And she says, "Oh, well, yeah, but you can't like the type of music I like. You can't. I don't believe that you're down with that like I am. Because I'm really into it. And I go to concerts and I do this and do that." Now, in the back of my mind, I thought, "Wow, here's a chick that I can hang out with because we like the same music. We're on the same level." Because I never met another black person up until then that liked the same type of music I had. How crazy is that? And then she's gonna stomp all over that and say, "Oh yeah, but you're not where I'm at, and we can't hang out." And to this day, me and my friend Penny, we laugh about that because I thought, what type of plane was she on? You even said to yourself, you get ridiculed. You can't find anyone else that likes what you like. But then here's another black person in your face saying, "Hey, I like it. Come on, sis, let's hang out." And she didn't want to do that. I'm like, so see, some people just, as my great-grandmother always said, you cut off your nose to spite your face. So we could have been the best of friends, but she wanted to cut that off because she thought she was somehow a different planet than I was as far as music is concerned. And I'm like, well, okay, go on about your way then. I don't need to be friends with you. So, but yeah, that's
Very
that's
interesting.
an example that I use. I mean, I got thousands of them, but so that's on the music thing. So another question was, does food or cooking food get complicated for us? What do you think?
Not for us in the beginning because I didn't really cook. Ronnie cooked everything.
Yeah, John. I mean, John was pretty much.
Well, my mom told me everything. You pull the frozen tray out, you put it in the oven, you put it on 350 for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, heats up, Throw some cinnamon on that pork chop, you're all set.
So, in other words, he just ate, frozen dinners all the time. Which I felt so bad when I met him. Because he didn't like cook stuff, and we did speak about this before. I did turn him on to collard greens because he thought sacrilege. He thought that canned collard greens was what you ate.
Right.
Now I applaud him for even wanting to try collard greens because some people just like, oh, I don't know what collard green is.
Well, do you know how I first tasted collard greens?
There was somebody that you worked with, right?
Yeah, there was a black woman that I worked with in the office, and she gave me some of hers because she asked me if I ever tasted them before.
And
but the funny thing was, which Ronnie would probably say this is sacrilegious too, she got her collard greens from a Chinese food store.
Oh, good Lord!
Yeah, so that's probably not right either. But I remember one Thanksgiving, and I think it was that same year, I bought a can. What is that name of them collard greens?
Sylvia's.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say that, but Sylvia's.
I bought a big can of them. I brought them over for Thanksgiving. And, we're traditional. I have a traditional white Irish family. I brought them over, put them on the table for Thanksgiving. Nobody in our family ever put collard greens on the table.
Did they eat them?
I don't know whether they ate them or not. I know I ate them.
They probably was like John Crazy. We're not eating that.
That's what they were like. Look, I'm bringing collard greens.
Well, that should have been a foreshadowing of what was going to happen. But, yeah, so I told, when he did the can thing, and I said, oh, no, baby, let me make you some southern down-home collard greens.
Which they were good. They are a lot of work, though.
They are, but, that's something I'm used to because my great-grandmother always, it wasn't like, we never ate things out of a can. Like, sometimes, I shouldn't put it that way. Sometimes string beans or whatever would be out of can, but for the most part, we ate fresh vegetables. She went and she, cleaned those collard greens and turnips and, string beans and things like that. So we had stuff like that was fresh. So I grew up knowing how to cook like that. So, when John and I got together, I was in the kitchen and I was cooking and I was showing him, and he would say, well, how do you do this? Because have you ever met someone that doesn't know like what temperature to cook a chicken or how to do a turkey or how to make potato salad or how to do that? I used to work with my boss one time. I would always take potato salad, I'm jumping around, but I would always take potato salad when we had like a potluck, and he would say, "Oh, they love my potato salad." He was like, "Can give me your recipe?" And I'm like, "Huh? It's not my recipe. I just boil the potatoes, you just make it." And he was like, "No, I need it step by step." So I said, "Okay, Tony, you take the potatoes and you chop them up and you put onions and you put mayonnaise and you put relish and you put egg and salt and pepper." Those were the ingredients. He would say to me, "How much eggs? How much mayonnaise? How much salt and pepper? How much of onions, and if you're putting the mustard or relish in it, how much?" And again, I looked at him like, "What? What do you mean how much?"
Yeah. Well,
So,
Ronnie does pinch
no,
a
that's
splash.
it. Here's the thing: growing up, we weren't chefs; we were cooks because cooks know what to put in the food, stir it up, taste it, and like, oh, that's good to go. Or no, this needs more salt. No, this needs more pepper. Oh, I think I need a little bit more relish. But he was sitting back like, "But I don't know how to put what I need I need the amounts of the ingredients," and that just took me for that knocked me off my feet because it made me think like, oh, other people don't cook like that. You have to cook. We were definitely cooks by taste, not by recipe. No, don't get me wrong. If somebody puts a recipe in front of me, I'll follow it. You definitely have to do it when you're baking because that's a science. But as far as just making food, no, you cook it, you just know when it's done. It smells right, it's been in there, it's done, or you're cooking something, yep, it's done. Taste it, yeah, it tastes good. It's done. Soup, same thing. So when he said, and then he said something that, again, it's sacrilege. Well, how much vinegar do you put in it? Oh,
Well, they put
never.
vinegar. They put vinegar in German potato salad, don't they?
I don't know.
I thought they put vinegar in German potato
I
salad.
don't know what German potato salad
Because
has.
they don't put mayo
German
in it.
potato salad doesn't have mayonnaise. They use
Right.
oil, which is fine with me because I've done that too. But for my family, no, you put mayo in it, and you just I like both actually. Actually, sometimes I prefer the oil. So yeah, the cooking thing for us, I like to say that I gave him some hints on how to cook and things like that, right?
Yeah. Well, you got to admit though too, since I met Ronnie, I've actually got in the kitchen and really started cooking things. I'm at the point to where I was just telling my son we could get a food cart. Always thinking ahead to the next business.
He wants to do
But
that.
I think that I'm at the point now where I could get a food cart and basically go out and cook, for profit. Just because, just in the kitchen playing with different things, I'm gonna do another shout out. An air fryer. If you guys don't have an air fryer, get an air fryer.
Yeah.
I made chicken that looked like one of them. Remember them old '70s Crisco commercials where, what was that? Florence Henderson. She cut that chicken and
That was Wesley.
look at all the juice come out of it. It looked like a fountain. I'm telling you, that's the way the air fryer cooks.
Yeah, Sean had brought over a little small air fryer and left it here, and we had started using it just to heat up
Yeah,
stuff.
you can only heat up like fish sticks.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
just it's crazy small. But then he went out and got one the size of like a little mini,
Small
like a
miniature,
small,
like a conventional oven.
yeah, like
one
a
of the small ones.
convectional oven, or a small,
Or a convention.
or a small, or a convection oven is what it's called,
Oh, okay.
or a small
Miss
microwave.
Grammar.
Anyway, I like Mr. I always mess up words just for the heck of messing them up.
Mix them up.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's what food, how food goes. And then another thing was, do we ever experience cultural clashes? What do you think?
Well, what is that? When you explain it, let's go a little deeper into that. Explain what exactly.
I think the whole, I don't know if it's a clash. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't go so far to say it's clashes that we experience. Is if anybody goes into a relationship outside of your own culture, John and I'm black, he's white. If anybody out there is thinking about that or think that you're going to go into that and not have any cultural differences, you're fooling yourself. And don't get me wrong, because there are those cultural differences doesn't mean that you can't be together or you can't work things out or talk over things. That's what you're supposed to do. Talk through the clashes, and I don't even like to call them that, the misunderstandings or the stereotypes, because every culture has stereotypes about another culture, and sometimes it's really ingrained into you the way you were raised, and then when you meet someone, you're like, oh well, no, you're supposed to be this way because this is how I saw it on television, and that's not what it is. So I only call them clashes if you're always arguing about it. But you should always be able to open up a dialogue and have something like, my hair, for instance. I think a misnomer is that a lot of black women don't have their own hair because we're always changing our style so much. We're going to change our style so much if we didn't have hair on our head. And I think another one is that black women can't grow their hair long. And that's not true either. So because we do so much and we're so versatile, I think a lot of white people think, well, no, that's not their hair. That couldn't be their hair because they're always changing it or doing whatever. So whatever the case may be, I don't think they're clashes, but I think what John and I always try to do, and what I think we're very good at, is always talking about it. Like if he doesn't understand something, he'll say, well, let me ask you this. This is how he always starts off. Well, let me ask you this. Whatever. And I'll just say, well, no, this, or is that, or I'll explain it, because he's asking, because you know what? He really doesn't know. Right?
Very interesting. Yes.
Okay. Well, can you think of anything off the top of your
head? It's like, like what Irish people, they always say, oh, they always fight with one another. Everybody knows that's, well, wait a minute. Okay, so let's skip that one.
Let me say this before you go on. I'm not saying, I don't always say, oh, stereotypes are the end all be all, but every stereotype has its basis in some truth.
Right.
But then you just you exploded or explodes into something crazy.
Would you say, since you married into an Irish family, would you say that the fighting really probably does exist?
It does exist.
Yeah. And then a lot of you people are probably like, yeah, Irish people, they drink all the time. Drink. Well, let's skip that one too. Yeah, we do like to drink too.
And then people will say, well, all black people like watermelon. I'm gonna raise my hand. Hell yeah, I like watermelon. But then it used to be all black people like fried chicken. Well, sometimes, yeah. So that's why I say it has its basis in some truth. But then I do think that it gets exploded into, just that's all you are.
Right.
And that's not true.
All Irish people are good dancers.
We're going to do some videos.
Yeah, do some videos.
That's going to prove.
Yeah.
Y'all make the call on that.
I've been watching the Dancing Trucker. I got a lot of moves from him.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's him. If he wants to, I'm not even going to say embarrass himself. If he wants to just get out there and dance and do your thing, baby.
Look, I don't have no rhythm. I'm the first one to admit that, but I dance for the people.
But you know what? That's what I love about him, because we went on a...
that was Spirit of Philadelphia
cruise. We
went
on a Spirit of Philadelphia cruise. And I think it was for our anniversary one year. And they had, a DJ. And, of course, they played the one song that gets everybody up and dancing. So we were sharing the table with another couple. I forget what the song was. I don't know what it was. But anyway, the song came on, and they was like, come on, let's go. And we got up and we started dancing. Now in the back, it was a whole bunch of like younger people, whatever. I mean, not that we're old, but it was a whole bunch of young. It was just, what it was? It was like a crowd, and I think they were there like with their family and a whole bunch of friends. And John got out there and started doing whatever. And
what he does.
Yeah, doing what he does. And I could hear them laughing and saying things. And I would just turn around and look, because I was going to get into it. Like, why are you making fun of somebody dancing? To me, when you get up and you dance, I'm not out there trying to do the dances that the 17 and 18-year-olds are doing. I'm getting out there and I'm moving to the music the way the music makes me feel. If I want to put in some old-fashioned dancing, well, that's just what I'm going to do. But to me, to get up and just dance, to just show, your willingness to move your body to the beat of the music, just do it. You do what you want to do when you dance, and that's how you feel. Don't laugh at somebody because you think they're doing some old-fashioned, or you think they're doing some move that you never seen or heard of. He's moving to way the music moves him. So that makes me mad. I just got to put that out there. I hate it when people make fun of other people when they dance.
And I didn't see anything wrong with my dancing, but I was really mad that night because I thought they were making fun of Ronnie.
He knew that's not what it was. You didn't even know that they were making fun of you until I told you, which is a good thing.
I don't really
he said
care.
His dad used to dance, and his dad stopped dancing because somebody did that, and that hurts my heart because you should never bully or laugh or make fun of somebody so much so that they don't dance anymore. I mean, how stupid is that?
But see, my whole thing is, and when we used to go out years ago, like on holidays and stuff, we would go out. What was it? New Year's. They'd have like these big catered things at these halls where you could get tickets. I think they stopped a lot of that now. You don't really see too much of that. The whole drinking and driving and Coronas and stuff probably killed all that.
Probably.
But the we used to get tickets every year. But see, when I went out, you know, my cousins, total opposites. They would like stand up against the wall. They didn't want anybody seeing them or something. I just went out there to have fun. And if people were laughing at me, I liked it. You know, I just liked the attention. So it wasn't like I was hurt. Like if you laughed or thought something I was doing was funny, I did it more just because I thought, you know, I liked it.
Just trying to get
I liked the attention. But like I said, not everybody's like that. Some people got soft, tender skin. Now, what happened with my dad is he would dance, but see, he'd do his arms like he'd like move his shoulders, but keep his arms down on the side.
Never moved his arms.
And so this lady said to him, "Look at that man." She says, "He don't know how to move his arms." And my dad went back to the table. So instead of going out and he could have threw his arms up all kind of crazy and stuff just to make her look what you call it. But instead, he went back to the table, sulked, and drank a couple more beers. Because he just had his feelings hurt, and it's like, why? You know, to me, it's just total opposite. If you laugh at me, I take it as a compliment, but that's just me.
And you know, I mean, some people, it's just, you know, it bothers them, but you really have to have a tough skin. I have a
especially
tough
if you have no rhythm.
I have a tough skin. People can say whatever they want to, call me fat, call me ugly, call me whatever. I don't care, you know, because I'm doing my own thing. You do your own thing. To me, you know, if more people just minded their own business and not got in everybody else's business or had something negative to say about people all the time, I think we would all get along a lot better. But people they think they have the right to jump in.
So, because this video is going a little on the long side, let's save 7 because I want to do a video on that by itself.
All right. So yeah, it is going a little bit long, but you know, see, this is when we start talking about things. Well, we haven't done a video in a while because I haven't. Chatty. Yeah, I'm going to be chatty Cathy. I'm going to be a chatty Cathy because we haven't done a video in a long time. We did a little one a couple of days ago, but you know, I just got a lot of stuff to say and I'm feeling good, so I'm up and I'm out of the bed. So yeah, we just wanted to do this video for you. You know, just to do part 2 because a lot of people were asking us. We had tons of questions about, you know, us as an interracial couple. And that first one, we just kind of hit on some things when we were first starting out. But we wanted to do a part 2. So there you go, folks. A part 2. Hope you enjoyed it.
Part 2.
And yeah, so we'll be back soon with some more videos. We get back in the swing of things.
What about Joe? Is Joe coming back?
Joe screams in my ear too much.
Yeah, well, I think he was getting excited with your hair swinging around.
He was, and I don't know if you people, you know, peeped him taking my hair in his little beak. He does that a lot. Yeah. So I don't know. We have to think about whether you let us know. Do you want Joe back in the
drop us a line.
You want Joe back in the videos every now and then? Let us know in the comments below. So, all right, what do we say?
God bless you all.
Peace and love. And thank you so much for watching. And till next time, next video. Bye, folks.